Hi, Mr. Johnson. I'm sure you can tell by my voice I'm very shaky. Just want you to hear a little bit about my family. I have 2 medically fragile children. I have a husband who actively serves this country. If we see a lapse in pay come the 15th, my children do not get to get the medication that's needed for them to live their life because we live paycheck to paycheck. I'm begging you to pass this legislation. My kids could die. We don't have the credit because of the medical bills that I have to pay regularly. You could be the one that could say military's getting paid. And I think that it is awful, and the audacity of someone who makes 6 figures a year to do this to military families is insane.
All right, Samantha.
I was really hoping that I wouldn't have to make this video, but as of today, October 10th, 2025, the United States government is still shut down. Military families are panicking about if they will receive paychecks next week. Now, a few things to note. Service members are still showing up to work every day without pay. And many people have been saying, military has got paid every government shutdown. What will be any different this time? Well, in order to make sure that October 15th paycheck is received by service members, Congress has to pass funding or a special bill by October 13th. And as of right now, that has not happened yet. Let's just use 2013 as an example. I was actually deployed in Afghanistan in the middle of re-enlistment and trying to figure out, am I going to get paid? And can I get my bonus? But during that government shutdown, we had something called the Pay Our Military Act. We still got our checks. Yes, we did. And what that did was make sure that we all received our paychecks while the government was shut down. And with this 2025 government shutdown, we simply haven't had anything like that passed. That is why everybody is assuming, hey, we're not getting paid because where is it in writing? Where's the proof? And without some sort of legislation, appropriation, or some sort of act in place, the DoD or the government can't legally pay everybody that's in the service. And that's why I need you to watch this whole video. We know it's bad, but in this video, I'm going to give you guys some solutions to help you or somebody you know get through this government shutdown in the event that paychecks end up being delayed. But first, let's look at some viral TikToks online and the reactions that social media has had in regards to the military possibly not getting paid on October 15th.
The fact that they're saying that they're not going to pay the military on payday on the 15th is crazy to me. Okay? And I can speak on this because, for one, my husband had served, and there was like a time or two when the government was shut down, they were talking about how we weren't going to get paid. Most wives are stay-at-home moms with several kids in the house.
I quickly want to go over a few of these comments. It says here, yes, my husband is our only income, so we need to be getting paid. This is insane. My husband just got home last week from being deployed, and now he has to deal with this. I'm hoping that this doesn't last too much longer, y'all. I really do.
It has occurred to me that a lot of soldiers are probably not going to get paid on the 15th. And as my time in a first sergeant role, I realized how bad most soldiers are financially.
Yes.
This isn't really a fault of them. It's because they were literally never taught how to manage money, and probably neither were you, because I know I wasn't either.
So, Navy wife here. I'm also a veteran, and my husband is deployed in a combat zone right now. So I've been keeping up with the shutdown because it affects, our livelihood.
But now, what can we do about this? Let's go through some of the solutions that people have formulated online and talk about some of the issues people have faced while trying to be proactive in this whole government shutdown to make sure that they have money in their bank accounts.
Super fun fact. If you bank with USAA and are affected by the government shutdown and you're like, oh, they have the government shutdown loan, I'm going to go ahead and use that. They are now requiring a hard credit pull in order for you to get that government shutdown loan, the loan that they're automatically going to repay themselves as soon as they, get the money deposited into your bank account. So it's not like you're not going to have that repaid. Yeah, they're service members and federal workers over even more during the hard times that they're going through by doing a hard credit pull. Navy Federal's not doing that. If you go onto their website and you look, the requirements, no credit check, not USAA. Are you serious right now, USAA?
And I trust y'all, but I gotta verify. I am on USAA's website because we need some information about this loan. Are they really pulling credit checks? Because if so, that's crazy. Let's see. It says here, we have your back with our government shutdown program. By the way, this program is not endorsed or affiliated with the United States federal government. And it says here, financial solutions during your hardship. Members impacted by a government shutdown can count on USAA and may be eligible to apply for a no-interest loan and other payment relief options across our banking and insurance products. The people want to know, Is a hard credit pull required? Let's see. Apply for a no interest loan. It says this is a 0% interest loan equal to the amount of net pay from $500 to $6,000, and it is designated to help if your pay is disrupted. Okay, what are the requirements? What are the requirements? To qualify, and this is for USAA. We're going to go over Navy Federal next. To qualify for the USAA one, it says you have to have direct deposit set up for a USAA checking or savings account as of the federal payment disruption date. Then it says you must receive at least one qualifying direct deposit to that same account within 30 days before the start of the disruption. That stands out because if you're new to USAA, you may not meet that requirement depending on how fast your direct deposit has been going to that bank. And here we go. It says here, and you have to get credit approval from USAA Bank. USAA, I don't know. If anybody watching this video has tried to get this loan with USAA, specifically because of the government shutdown, please let us know in the comments. Did they require a credit pull? I need to see something. What makes you eligible? It says here, a member employed by an impacted federal agency, and if you directly deposit your government paycheck or pay. You're also eligible if you're an account holder on the impacted USAA bank account. This is the part that I want to talk about because I want everybody to understand these are loans and loans require repayment. I'm not hearing enough of that in conversations online. This is in the fine print. You need to repay the loan within 3 months of funding. Okay, you got 3 months to pay up. It says payments will be split into 2 equal installments. The second is due in about 90 days. Then you have a little button here where you can apply. Now, I need to go to the TikTok to see what is up with the credit pool. I think we got somebody who has firsthand experience with the USAA government shutdown loan. And it says on the screen, we got denied. All right.
Hey, what's up? I'm going to tell you how my day went today. So I got to work, sitting in my car, calling like our credit card companies, vehicle loans, insurance, everything. Trying to make a little payment arrangement, because government shut down and we as active duty, a family, we're not going to get paid. Makes it worse is my husband's deployed. So I'm calling all these people before work. I'm crying because it's embarrassing. I have a job, but I don't make as much as my husband. So the check that we're supposed to get, that we're not getting on the 15th covers a lot of our bills. So I'm having to make these arrangements. I'm crying like I'm embarrassed, okay? Let me just tell you, first of all, if you have USAA, you can yourself. USAA. You, your mother, your father, your sister, your auntie, you.
Whoa.
Literally. Because guess what? We've banked with them for almost 12 years. Never had a negative account. No. Always had a little bit of savings. Just a little measly amount of savings. Guess what? I applied for the government shutdown loan today.
Okay. What happened?
I was so excited because when you go on the thing, it says, hey, you are able to apply. So I'm applying, right? Mm-hmm. And I get this little error message at the end saying technical difficulties or some I was like, okay, cool. Maybe the website's fucking crashing because everybody and their fucking mother is trying to apply for a loan to try to figure out how to pay for fucking shit, okay?
True.
20 minutes later, I get an email. Sorry, you've been denied. And guess what? They did a hard fucking credit pull, okay? Hard credit pull. Denied, no money. What the fuck am I supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? Please enlighten me because I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do now. I don't know. No, because this is embarrassing. Embarrassing as a fucking military family, okay?
I wasn't expecting the outburst and I wasn't ready because her voice just sounded like she was just so sweet. And then there it was. I can understand her being upset though. She wants to know what to do. And many people would want to know in this situation. You apply for a loan with USAA, you get denied. You need money. Your husband's deployed. There's only so many options left. I mean, hopefully Navy Federal, if she can open an account fast enough and we got to go over and see what are their requirements, hopefully they won't do her dirty like that. But given the circumstances, it is very sad to see people getting denied. And she was a member for 12 years, so I'm not sure why she got denied. As an outsider looking in, from the perspective of somebody who has both of these banks, if USAA was in fact doing this to people, I could see the backlash happening online really fast. And I could see the switch up coming a mile away. But specifically in her case, the best thing for her might be to go ahead and see if, hey, can I get a loan with Navy Federal? Because from what I see, they were offering 0% APR. Of course, you had to bank with them, and we'll get into that in a second. Maybe she can also use AER, which is Army Emergency Relief. And we got to talk about how people were having issues accessing their LES, which in civilian terms is essentially like their military paycheck that shows what money is being taken out for what. A lot of service members got on TikTok today saying they weren't able to pull it. So I got to dig into that. But before we get into that, I want to see more reactions to people getting upset about how USAA has handled this whole government shutdown.
USAA counter days.
Oh.
How are you denying your active duty service members and their families for this government shutdown loan? Navy Federal. Everyone go to Navy Federal.
And I got a little spooked looking in her comments because the first comment here says, I got denied this morning. And I've been with USAA with the same account with direct deposit for 22 years. But that's not even the spooky part. No pun intended because it's October. But the next comment said, Navy Federal is denying as well. And underneath it says, we got denied upper 700 credit. So they allegedly have a 700 credit score. Only one car loan. The rest are paid off. No debt, no late payments. This is nuts. What? We got a glimpse of hope here. Somebody said, I got approved with Navy Federal just fine. They based it off of my last 3 paychecks. I'm active duty, by the way. The next comment here says they're about to lose so many members after this situation. Honestly, if that is the case, I could see it coming. And the comment underneath says, we got approved, but it's a hard credit pull. So now it's against us. Yay. What in the world is going on? People in the comments saying that they just canceled their insurance with them. Another person here saying that they had a 738 and got denied. Checked everything before I even applied and called customer service and told them there's 9 years of loyalty. She said it's just the way the system is set up. Wow. Y'all, we got to get over to Navy Federal's website right now to see what is the loan requirements for them? Because this is getting out of hand. All right, now we're on the Navy Federal website, and it says here, government shutdown update. And this is for government shutdown assistance. With the federal government currently shut down, eligible Navy Federal members impacted by paycheck disruptions can enroll in the credit union's Paycheck Assistant Program. And it states here, this is a 0% APR loan during the government shutdown, and you're eligible if you meet these 3 requirements. It says here that your pay is impacted by the government shutdown, you've set up direct deposit of pay with Navy Federal, and if you are one of the following: a federal government employee, an active duty service member, or a federal government contractor paid directly by the federal government. Now, it goes into the loan amount stating that the loan amounts are calculated based on the amount of the most recent direct deposit of pay that was made to your account prior to the pay interruptions. Going on to state that the maximum loan amount you can get is $10,000. Additionally, it says it's a 0% APR, no fees or interest charges associated with this loan. And Navy Federal, this is what we came to see. No credit check required. And again, I want to emphasize these are loans, which means you have to pay it back. So I quickly want to talk about the repayment. It says once direct deposit of pay resumes, the amount credited to your accounts will be deducted automatically as repayment. So Navy Federal said, we're going to get our money and we ain't waiting on you to send it. And for those of y'all who are coming over from USAA or got denied for a loan over there and you're trying to get something, this is the part you want to pay attention to. Are new members eligible? It says, yes, if you are a federal government employee or a military service member whose direct deposit of pay will be impacted by a government shutdown and your direct deposit of pay was processed into a Navy Federal account immediately preceding the government shutdown, you are eligible to participate in the program. But we also got to see what it says next. Then it says here, if you do not have a direct deposit of pay, you will not be eligible for the benefits of the program. Now, there's probably a group of people that is like, hey, I'm not really sure about the loans. Army Emergency Relief loans are a 0% APR loan. And this is directly through the military, not an outside bank or a credit union. Now, whether you get the loan or not, it's on a case-by-case basis because they have to assess the situation. But as you can see, there's many different situations that you can get the AER loan. Considering this whole government shutdown, it even says here, mortgage, rent, and initial deposit. That could be reason enough because a lot of people might not be able to pay their mortgages or pay their landlords or their rent. Now, who is eligible for an AER loan? Soldiers on active duty and their eligible dependents. So for a lot of the stay-at-home wives or stay-at-home husbands, if your spouse is active duty, you would be an eligible dependent. And it lists a whole bunch of other people who are eligible too. And the easiest way to apply is to speak with your chain of command. They should definitely know what to do. It states here there's an online application on a computer or a mobile device that you can use to submit your application. You can also visit your AER officer. And on the website, it states here that you can find the nearest office by clicking this link. And the website I'm currently on, if you guys want more information on this and how to apply for the loan, is www.armyemergencyrelief.org and click on the tab that says assistance. Now, I want to see what a lot of people in active duty are dealing with when it comes to this loan.
Army Emergency Relief, we have a problem, a significant problem, right? Have y'all tried to log into MyPay this morning, right? Log into MyPay. Try to access your LES. You can't? No? Not only one? Guess what? You can't. You can't access the LES.
All right. For all my civilian folks, the LES is essentially a detailed pay stub, and you need that a lot of the time to go on leave, go on vacation, and do stuff like this when applying for Army Emergency Relief. It's part of your packet. If you can't access this on the website, you can't submit a packet. This might be considered a required document. This is interesting.
Why is this a significant issue, right? Why is not accessing your LES and AR? How are those linked in? Guess what? You need your end of month August LES in order to complete your government shutdown assistance loan packet with AR.
Yeah.
Don't have it? Your packet frozen. You can't even submit it, right? You need that end of month August LES. You need the back in front of your ID card, and you need that bank statement or screenshot verifying your routing and account information, right? You can put all that admin stuff. You can do the whole 9 right online. You can get everything done, but you cannot submit your packet unless you have that end of month August LES. Now, why is this an issue? Because you can't put the packet in without the darn LES.
Yeah.
You can't access the LES because on MyPay it's shut down on that portion. Crazy work. We have a program into place to help out soldiers, and yet if soldiers can't access the one document that they need to get the packet in, guess what? The soldiers cannot get taken care of.
Right.
AR, you might want to get on this ASAP. This is your time to shine. This is your one shining moment, right? You know what I mean? Like, crazy work. Crazy freaking work, man. What times that we are in. Not everybody has name fed on USAA. There's a group of soldiers out there that want to utilize AR, but if we can't get that issue fixed, because not everybody saves the LES to the goddamn desktop, right?
Yeah.
Just want to let y'all know, get y'all the heads up. Got to get some action done on this.
You know what? This is actually very useful information, and he's absolutely right. It kind of goes against the cause. For all my active duty folks or anybody that's trying to access their LES, hey, if you got an old leave packet, look, dig through there. If you went to a school, go look through your packet. It's probably in there. If you went to the board for promotion, might have you one in there. Get creative, y'all. I done found a few LESs last minute when I wasn't looking for them, and that's where they are. My hope is if you need to use an AER loan, that you can find one immediately. And hopefully they get this website thing under control because that's ridiculous. Tighten up. And comment down below if you're active duty. Are you able to access your LES as of today?
So military families can use their TSP, which is your thrifty savings plan. It's your retirement account. And yes, you do pay interest on the amount that you withdraw. However, the interest that you pay goes directly back to your TSP. It doesn't just go to a bank to get rich off of you. And in my own personal experience, once you apply to withdraw from your TSP, it can literally come within 24 hours. So that is an option. It's there for a reason. Utilize your resources.
That one right there controversial. I definitely think that this should be a last resort, but I do agree with her that it could be an option. And I know what a lot of y'all are thinking. People need to have emergency funds saved. They should have had something saved up, all this money people was getting, right? And y'all know, I love to preach about an emergency fund, but right now, many people are at the point where they want to know, what can I do? I know I don't got it. I should have had it, wished I had it. But the nuance of the situation is people still have to pay for their basic needs while this government shutdown is in effect. People want to know, where's the money coming from? And I caught that she said this was a thrifty savings plan.
Which is your thrifty savings plan. It's your retirement account.
TSP stands for thrift savings plan, not thrifty. But actually, I like the spin she put on it because it's kind of thrifty for the future. I get it.
USAA screwed over a lot of people in the 2019 government shutdown, and a lot of people left because of how they were screwed over. So you would think that USAA would learn, but they didn't. Now, for the shutdown that we are currently going through, they are offering a one-time loan to get people through the pay period, but they're pulling a hard credit check for this. Y'all didn't learn 6 years ago? Making somebody take a hit on their credit by giving them a loan of their paycheck that you will in fact be taking back once it drops into their account is actually diabolical. And I don't know how people still bank with USAA. How are you supposed to be for the military and you're screwing them over? It's not a matter of if they'll pay it back, because we saw how it worked with Navy Fed 6 years ago. Navy Fed offered a one-time payment of the paycheck up to a certain amount of money, I think. And once everything was resolved and they were getting paid again, once their paycheck was dropped into that account, Navy Fed just took that money back. Bada bing, bada boom. And that's what they're doing again this time. How are you going to require a hard credit check for this? What happens if they don't have the best credit? Now you just hit their credit again and you're not going to provide them that loan. So then they can't pay their bills, which affects their credit even more. And you think you're going to keep bankers that way? Absolutely diabolical. USAA screwed over a lot of people in the 2019.
Hey, this is the sentiment that's spreading online. I provided you all of the resources. Navy Federal, USAA, TSP, AER. Hopefully you don't use TSP because last resort for that one, actually. There are options available, and I'm hoping that these paychecks get resolved and everything gets squared away before October 13th. So we don't even have to worry about all these loans and taking out TSP, trying to apply for AER. MyPay's website ain't loading the LES. It's just too much. People are starting to get nervous and desperate. But y'all, let me know what you think about all this down below. Will you be utilizing any of these loans during the government shutdown to make sure that you are getting paid? Has you or anybody you know applied for a government shutdown loan with any of these banks or credit unions and been denied? USAA, they got y'all out here looking crazy. Tighten up. But we got to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.